Dust swirled in the dim light, cobwebs clung to my face, the attic was hot, air thick and stale. My 3 friends and I were on a mission to find Grandpa's old chest. Legend had it, he'd hidden a treasure map inside. "Found it!" Mark exclaimed, dragging a dusty wooden chest. We huddled around as he pried it open. Inside, beneath old clothes and books, lay a rolled-up parchment, tied with faded ribbon. It was a map, but not like any I'd seen. Strange symbols and faded ink hinted at places unknown. "Black Hollow Forest," Emily read, her voice a hushed whisper. The name sent shivers down my spine. Black Hollow was local folklore whispered to be cursed. "This map is ancient," she added, tracing a gnarled finger across the parchment. "Treasure or no treasure, that forest is bad news," Ben chimed in, his brow furrowed. I had to agree. But the lure of adventure, of holding history in our hands, was too strong to resist. We were going to Black Hollow. The woods were alive with shadows. The air grew heavy, the sunlight barely penetrating the dense canopy above. Black Hollow Forest was exactly as the legends described, eerie, silent, and unwelcoming. The map crackled softly in my hand as I consulted it. "According to this, we need to head north," I announced, pushing aside a low-hanging branch. The others followed, their expressions a mix of apprehension and excitement. The forest floor was littered with decaying leaves, muffling our footsteps. The silence was unnerving, broken only by the distant cawing of crows. "Do you ever feel like we're being watched?" Emily whispered, her eyes darting around nervously. I nodded, unable to shake the feeling that unseen eyes were upon us. The deeper we ventured, the more oppressive the atmosphere became. A cold, unnatural wind seemed to emanate from the heart of the woods, whispering through the trees. The map led us deeper and deeper, away from the faintest hint of a trail. The sun was beginning to set, casting long, menacing shadows that danced and twisted around us. Just when I was about to suggest we turn back, Ben stopped dead in his tracks. "Guys, look!" He pointed towards a clearing ahead. A weathered stone archway stood before us, half hidden by vines. It was identical to the one on the map. We'd been walking for what felt like hours, the map leading us through a maze of twisted trees and overgrown paths. Each landmark we encountered, a crumbling well, a gnarled oak split by lightning, a ring of ancient, moss-covered stones, filled us with a growing sense of dread. They were all marked on the map, each accompanied by a cryptic symbol we couldn't decipher. The forest seemed to press in on us, the air growing colder and damper. The sunlight had vanished entirely, leaving us in an eerie twilight. Whispers seemed to emanate from the undergrowth, sending chills down my spine. I could see fear etched on the faces of my friends. "I don't like this," Emily mumbled, her voice tight with anxiety. "Let's just take the treasure and get out of here." But Ben was already ahead of us, his eyes fixed on a clearing up ahead. In the center, beneath a towering skeletal tree, lay a small mound of earth. The map fluttered in the breeze, pointing directly at it. "This is it," Ben said, his voice strangely flat. He began to dig frantically, tossing aside dirt and stones. We watched in tense silence as a wooden chest, its surface rotted and covered in moss, emerged from the earth. It was smaller than we expected, but undeniably ancient. Ben pried it open, and we all gasped. The chest didn't contain gold or jewels, but something far more sinister. A human skull, its eye sockets staring vacantly up at us. A blood-stained dagger lay beside it, its blade dulled with time. Other artifacts, strange symbols carved from bone, a leather-bound book with pages full of disturbing illustrations, hinted at dark rituals and forgotten magic. A low growl echoed through the clearing, the air grew noticeably colder. We spun around, our hearts pounding in our chests. A swirling mist was gathering beneath the skeletal tree, taking on a vaguely humanoid form. 2 glowing red eyes pierced through the swirling gray, fixing us with a malevolent stare. "Run!" I screamed, scrambling back from the chest. Panic seized us. We turned and fled, branches whipping at our faces, the growls of unseen creatures echoing behind us. The map slipped from my grasp as I ran, lost in the chaos. I didn't dare look back, the chilling image of the glowing eyes seared into my memory. I burst out of the forest edge, gasping for breath, my clothes torn and my face streaked with dirt. I was alone. I called out for my friends, but only silence met my ears. Days later, the police would find no trace of them. The nightmare of that night haunts me still. Some secrets, I realize now, are best left buried, and some places like Black Hollow Forest are best left undisturbed.